and welcome to another weekly vlog. I think this is the first time I've filmed this week. It's Tuesday. I'm still giving my eyes a rest. I've still got the gleeks on. I still don't have any makeup on. What a disgrace. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, just going into my mum's. I don't know if she'll want to go out. The weather's looking a bit dicey, to be honest. I don't know if she'll want to go out. She's not interested in anything. And she just like talks absolute rubbish. That's not meant to sound nasty, but she's not like making conversation or talking about anything you can converse with. It's all just nothing. I can't even explain it. Just random spurts of like. She told my dad the other day. I definitely think that it's some form of dementia. Definitely, because they say that with dementia, your short-term memory or like your more recent term memory goes, and your very long-term memory is more prevalent. And I noticed at the start that she was talking a lot about people that had died like 30 years ago. And the other day she's got to the point where she's getting irate and cross now and shouting. My dad finds it quite funny. And she told him the other day, now there's a part of Ballymena called the Dury Road, which is basically where he grew up as a kid, not as a kid, when he was older, with his family. And my mum told my dad the other day, away you on up to the Dury Road where you belong, out of the road, or something like that. She basically told him to piss off. Why are you up to the Dury? You know, like if you were like dating or something and she was where she was and he lived where he was, she told him to piss back off up to the Dury Road. So that's the sort of thing you're dealing with at the minute. But that's like relevant. Usually what she's saying is not relevant, and it just makes no sense. And that's even if you can understand.
Something about a hat the other day.
Oh, I've no idea. Most of us can understand. Darren's got no mission because I'm struggling. I would say before the delirium hit, I understood 80% of what my mum was saying. Darren's probably working more at a... No, I'd say before the delirium hit, you were about a 40.
Yeah, 40-50%. I'd pick a word up and then put it together and that's...
My dad was running at about a 30. And now, my dad gets the odd word. And I'm running at about a 40. And Darren, like my dad's no idea what's going on. So it's difficult. So it started raining. So like with taking her out, while on one hand I think it's probably good that she gets a change of scenery, it's really awkward and difficult because she'll start talking to you but you can't understand it and you have to keep starting. You're taking her out but there's nowhere she really wants to go and nothing she wants to look at. I'm avoiding Costa because two reasons. Last time she nearly choked, and she drunk a couple of sips and hardly ate. She had a couple of bites of what she was eating. It's just ridiculous.
I think it's more that she's used to doing that.
Yeah, it's a routine.
It's a routine rather than actually needing it or wanting it. It's just a routine of going there.
So let me regale you with the photographs that have come home from camp so far. If you've been following me for a while, you will remember Isaac's trip to Lancashire last year, where I ranted for probably months and you were probably sick listening to me. The only person that will get my frustration in this is Kelly, because she's like me about photos. She photographs everything that her daughter does. I'm the same. No, I don't photograph Kelly's daughter. I photograph Isaac, because I think it's very much in my case because I didn't have photographs growing up, so I want to sort of like make up for that so that Isaac always has stuff. And I like to look at them and memories and things. I love photographs, it's one of my favourite things. So I was really annoyed last year and I put it upon the fact that none of the female leaders went last year, and I'm like, well that's blokes for you, they don't think to take photographs. So this year we have the two main female leaders from Scouts, Frances and Rita. We have the guy that went last year and we have a female leader of the Explorers, and there are multiple used to be Explorers but are now young leaders. You can't count on them to do anything. They're basically 19-20 year olds. They're not interested in taking photographs. So they went on Saturday morning We got no notification they'd arrived. We got no notification they were on site. The first message of any description we got was on the Sunday at lunchtime. There was a photograph sent of them having lunch. Now, taking into consideration Storm Florus hit Scotland on late Sunday, Monday. And loads of stuff must have had to be cancelled. Tents must have come down because we've just heard today that they had to re-site the tents. But all day Sunday, jack shit. Sunday evening, I just happened to see a message because I'm in the leaders group. None of the parents seen this, saying that the explorers were going for a campfire and s'mores and marshmallows. Now, the parents wouldn't have knew that, I knew that. One photograph came through that night. Isaac wasn't in it. Most of the other explorers were, he wasn't. So, no photographs on travel day, no photographs on the Sunday, one on the Sunday, and then yesterday, taking into consideration that storm has hit, nobody told us anything. The main group leader, who's not there, sent a message saying, look, and he's a bloke, can somebody send through some photos? I'm wanting to get some stuff up on the Facebook site. Frances, the female leader, sent through a photograph of the tents. Not much happening. We've recited the tents. Nobody's in the photograph. It's just the tents. So the kids have been away. They arrived on site on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. We've had all day Saturday, all day Sunday, all day Monday. We're now halfway into Tuesday. I have seen 2 photographs with Isaac in it. One was sent about an hour ago of them sitting round the table, like a table. There's all scouts round one table, all explorers round another table. Somehow Isaac's managed to get himself in the photograph with all the scouts, all the little kids, rather than the older ones. Don't know how that's happened, but he's in it, I suppose. That's something. So 3 days I have had 2 photographs, and one of them, Isaac was, I'm going to put it in so you can see. The only person not visible in the fucking photograph is Isaac, who stood right behind someone else's head. So, I mean, they've had, I know they won't have gone. They had a big rave thing last night, which the explorers won't have been interested in because most of them are rock fans. But, example, today they had to recite the tents. How difficult would it have been for one leader to take 1 minute and walk around and snap photographs of the kids putting the tents up? Because that's part of the story of the holiday, isn't it? Storm Florus, we had to recite the tents. Even when they were sheltering inside during the storm, how hard is it for someone to take a few photographs? Nothing. So I'm as angry as I was last year. Actually, I'm more angry than I was last year because this year there's multiple females there that should know better. And I'm not being sexist, I just know that most men, Darren's one that would take more photographs than most blokes, but he still wouldn't take as many photographs as I would take because I'm quite obsessive about that sort of thing. But as a parent, and there's one of the women, Ola's mum, who I was fucking terrified the first time I met. It turns out she's actually nice. She obviously is like, I think Ola's quite young. She only joined Scouts last year. And this is probably her first big holiday away from home. And I think she asked, is everybody okay with the storm? Because nobody's like telling us fuck all, and other parents are too timid to ask anything, but she asked. And they sent a photograph of them inside playing cards, and not that Scouts, not explorers. Isaac wasn't in this. And she wrote, "Stay safe." And then a message came through on the leader's WhatsApp, which I'm on, which you could read the frustration in the message from Francis to the, look, can somebody take a photograph of the explorers and send it to the parents so they know that they're okay? Anytime anyone asks anything, they're getting really frustrated. And it's like, if you're a kid, I remember her, and she was actually giving me a really funny look at the time. She was talking about being really worried about her daughter Kira, who was on an expedition up mountains and stuff for some sort of award. And I says, oh God, what age is she? 21. And I'm one of these people that I laughed at her. I'm like, what, 21? And she looked at me like I was being, you know, like I was being nasty. But she was panicking and worrying about her daughter, who was 21 when she was on this expedition. But she has got a group of kids that are like 11 years old on their first time away from home. And she doesn't understand that parents are nervous when a massive big storm is hitting the area that they're in, camping outside.
Long coach travel, a ferry crossing, and a storm with a risk to life, and she didn't think to do
Yeah, it's on the Scottish news. Don't travel unless you absolutely have to. Risk to life. These kids are all out in the middle of a big open area field camping, and the leaders don't think, oh, we'll send a photograph so the parents know the kids are alright.
Yeah, everyone's fine. Bit windy.
Yeah, even a text. But I know how easy it is. Example, when I was with Scouts doing the, you know, each week, I sent more photographs through each normal week in the hall of whatever the kids were doing than we've had so far in 3 full days. I sent more for 2 hours because people like to see what their kids are doing when they're doing like activities and stuff. People do like to see their own kids doing something with their peers in their Scouts uniform and stuff because it's memories. But it's like anybody you see on holiday. Like when Kelly's on holiday, a ton of pictures. Susie's on holiday, she's just been on holiday, loads of lovely pictures. And that's what you want. But our kids are on holiday with adults that just have absolutely no fucking idea that the parents would like some photographs. And it boils my piss, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, it was like last year when the leader sent a selfie of himself rather than the kids.
He sent a selfie of him and the other leader stood in front of like Windermere where the kids were all doing water sports. There was a photograph of Isaac who was way out on a kayak or something.
Chance was that.
You couldn't actually see who it was.
A proper photo of himself.
Yeah, a nice selfie of himself.
Thanks for that. No one else wants it apart from you, and it's on your fucking phone anyway.
So, yeah, I'll probably put a folder up of the photographs that we do get that Isaac are in. So there might be 2 or 3 pictures in a whole folder.
Put a folder up of all the shit.
Oh no, I can't put it up publicly because I can't post pictures with other kids in. So I'll have to put it up like private. Who?
Brendan.
No, I never noticed him. I do this. I don't notice people walking past me and then I think I'm like, oh, I walked past you and you ignored me.
No, yeah, he's back. He was on that side of the road.
Well, yesterday I did it with that bloody Scout leader in Tesco's. There's a woman coming.
Me in bed?
What do you mean I did it with you in bed?
I said hello.
No, you didn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Unless I was asleep. Oh God, I had a night terror last week, and I think it's the first time I must have done a big noise or something.
No, you screamed the house down.
Did I?
Even Isaac woke up and heard it.
Did he?
Yeah.
So why did you not come in?
Because he heard me talking to you. He said next morning what was going on.
I had that thing.
It was a proper blood-curdling film screen from 1950s.
Was it good?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I can scream if I want to then. That thing where like your brain's not properly awake and you're half and half, and the only way you can explain it to a person that doesn't have it is
it's happening.
It's happening in front of you, and there was a person stood right in front of me, right beside the bed, right over me, and there was another climbing through the window. I sleep beside the window, and I woke up to a man in the room and another man climbing through the window, and it was as real as Darren is sat beside me now. I can't even tell you how terrifying it actually is. It's horrible because it's like it's actually happened. Is he going around that car? He's coming across. I knew he was.
Yeah, driving in fucking middle.
That was someone in a lane that was left turn only that decided that he was going to come straight over. So yeah, so I apparently screamed the house down. So there you are. That wasn't nice. It was horrible. I like sometimes you like aren't fully what it was has happened, sort of fades, but that definitely, it's always the same. It's always somebody either walking around the bed towards me or climbing through the windows. A new one.
Do you remember that night terror you had when you thought you'd heard a massive fart?
No, that was real.
No, it was just a night terror.
So yeah, nothing is pissing it down now. Nothing much happening apart from I need to go to Tesco to get. Forgot to add something to the shopping for my parents.
Supposed to on the way in.
I was going to see if I could get it in B&M because they usually sell them, but now that I'm looking at this rate and I'm thinking we might not.
I've got to go to chemist.
Oh, you do, yeah. If they don't, I'll have to get them somewhere else because my mum needs them to take her tablets. Actually, I'm in again on Friday. Bring them in on Friday because we've got that hoist training on Friday morning. So that's what's going on at the minute. I'm getting frustrated and moaning about no photographs, waking myself up screaming, and that's about it.
Go to this spot.
I will do actually. They'll be really annoyed next door that I'm in that. My dad's neighbour's on holiday in Turkey for a week, so I can have her space. Right, I shall check in with you later in the week, no doubt. Speak to you later. Hello. Good evening and welcome to Through the Keyhole. No, it's not. It is. Oh, there's nothing in. I'm gonna have to get. Sorry. Well, of course it has to be under everything else, doesn't it? Fucking deodorant, face wipes, you name it. My contact lens flew. It is Wednesday evening. Just get rid of this. And I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna whinge. Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 days. Do you know how many photographs I have with Isaac in it? 2. Today was sub-camp day, so they'll have been at on site all day doing loads of different games and high ropes and like a whole course. They've probably done air rifles, archery, all of that stuff. No photographs. Tomorrow they're going to Loch Lomond for canoeing, kayaking. They better be photos. And then they've only got 1 day left. Friday, they leave on Saturday. Friday is, what is Friday? I can't remember. I can't remember for the life of me. Oh, Friday might be day off site, so if sometimes they go into like a city or something like that. So I don't know what they're thinking. I mean, I just don't get it. I'm whinging again, I realise. So today I went to Honeybees with Kira and Sophie. What's that? Oh, it's some of my contact lens fluid must have dripped out. What else have I been doing? Nothing. Loads of admin for Scouts. I sent a message to say, look, can somebody send me a message at night just to a WhatsApp to say what you've roughly done? And I mean, all I would want is they did kayaking and canoeing today, or they did archery and whatever today. Literally, it would take 10 seconds so that I can update the badges as the week goes on, so that the kids are getting badges for everything they've done while they're away. Because in Scouts, there's like, badges have loads of different elements. It's not like do one thing and you get this badge. It's like, to get the camping badge, you need to fulfill an entire big criteria that you maybe won't do on one trip, like learn how to make a particular camp gadget, learn how to use knife skills and axe, cook, light the fire, you know, tidying up everything after. Anyway, you might not do everything to achieve. So when you do any aspects of those, I mark them all down and they sort of like make up so much of a badge, and then they'll maybe do the rest next time. Or I can say to the leaders, we could really do with you going over accidents and safety, or they need to do knife and axe handling to get their badge because a few of them need that. So anyway, that's what I do. And nobody, not only did they not acknowledge my message on the group chat, nobody's told me anything any day of the week. It's like they've all gone away and they've all a big fucking attitude, a big chip on their shoulder, and they will do nothing to help nobody. And it's just, I've fucking had it up to the back teeth at this point. To the point I'm considering not going back in September, because I mean, even when Eugene said he was leaving in December, nobody commented on his message. It was a big long message. And he's retiring and he's going to be travelling and doing building projects. So he's stepping down as group leader, and I think their knickers are all in a twist because none of them want to do it. And they know that if he leaves, it'll probably fall to Frances, who doesn't want to do it. She's the one that tried to push me into doing it, and that's when I left. So I've no idea what the hell's going to happen. It's a lot of work for anybody that takes it on, and you need to have a lot of free time and have a sort of knowledge, because you can't just go into a like lead group volunteer role without knowing everything about everything, and that's not me. I don't have time anyway with my mum. But they're fucking me right off right now, because they've obviously gone away with a bee in their bonnet, and all the parents are suffering for that. There are no pictures of their kids. I'm thinking of, I know there's one of the women I think pissed off that's been asking things like, is everybody okay? Ever stay safe? And I'm thinking, yeah, because nobody's told her what's happening. Nobody's told her if you're safe or not. It'll be the first time her daughter's been away. Ola, I think she's about 11 or 12. It's just not on. It really isn't. I know Isaac's 14, but I love to have memories of things to keep. Like when he's older and he looks back, oh, when I was 14 we went to here, when I was 13 we went to here. No photographs of me there doing anything. It doesn't exist. But anyway, right, I shall go. Tomorrow night I hope we're going to see Weapons. I've been looking forward to it for months. It opens tomorrow night here, so that should be good. Friday I've got hoist training with my mum, and tomorrow they're coming to look at our boiler again. It's still not right, so they're coming between 1 and 5, and I'm fucked off because I've been busy all week with doing different things, not for myself but with doing stuff. Tomorrow was the only day I have that we had all week, and I would have liked us to do something. But every other day, like I was out all day with Sophie and Kira today, I was in at my mum's all day Tuesday, I had loads of admin to do on Monday, I'm going to be busy at my mum's on Friday. Tomorrow was the only day, and then obviously Isaac's back on Saturday, so they've decided in their wisdom that they're going to come on the only fucking day that I could have done something. So I'm a bit pissed off about that. If it had come really early in the morning, that would have been fine. We could have done something later, but so I suppose I'm doing jack shit tomorrow as well. Probably more admin. Anyway, I shall check in with you. I'll let you know how Weapons is, but I'm expecting it to be a good one. I'll speak to you later. Hello, it is Thursday, guys. Me and Darren are just heading into town to see Weapons, which I have been looking forward to for ages. It looks really good. I don't know an awful lot about it, but that's how I like it. That's fall in reverse. Well, I'm going to move it on to Youngblood, I think. I'm getting a bit obsessed with Youngblood, it has to be said. Is it really pervy to find someone of 28 really attractive when you're 49? Probably. But he is. He's just, his persona, his personality, I absolutely love. And I'm only aware of him through Isaac, obviously. Oh. Darren's picking up contraband for the cinema. That's what we're doing. But yeah, I've chosen today, right now, to be hit with a really bad headache. It's teetering on the edge of a migraine. I've had a spray, I've had 2 cocoa, so we're hoping that a little tub of chocolate ice cream sends it on its way. So yeah, the photos came through today. Now, one of the explorer leaders, as in used to be an explorer, is now a leader, is only like 18. He took some photos of them out on, they weren't in Loch Lomond, they were on Loch Ard today. Now, they're all really far away, you can't really make out who's who. It's only by the fact that Isaac has a ponytail and a bit of red in his hair that I can tell. But he's in some of the photographs, and even though it's not ideal, you can't see him clearly, you know, at least it's something. So I've had something to, if you're on my Facebook, I've uploaded them. I need to move this. So you'll have seen them on my Facebook. What else can I tell you? I don't think there's anything else. We're going into my mum's tomorrow morning early because we have hoist training. We were meant to have it before, but my mum wasn't up to it. She's still not up to it, but it needs to be done at some stage, so it's been booked in. It would be better if it was the afternoon, but she didn't have anything in the afternoon, so we've had to go at 10 o'clock in the morning, which obviously means getting up at like 7:30 here. Probably to you guys, you're like, wish I could get up at 7:30. I don't operate very well in the morning. Then tomorrow, Saturday as it gets back, we'll go to see the darkness. So yeah, hopefully there'll be a little bit of that for you to see in this week's vlog, a little bit of interest. I will, as always, be doing a review of the movie on my main channel, which I will try to remember to link at the end. But if I ever tell you I'm going to the cinema, most of the time I will put a link to, or most of the time I will have reviewed the movie on my main channel. Sometimes I'll remember to mention it here and what I thought, but most of the time I probably won't. So anything you can think of I need to update? No. Right, so I shall go and I shall speak to you later. So we've come up to B&M because they're closing down. They're opening a big massive store somewhere else basically, and they've packed all the like decent stuff to obviously take to the new store, and they're selling off crap. I will put in a clip of how empty the store is to give you an idea. I mean, it is empty. B&M's shutting down. 50% off everything. Look at everything. Look at all this stuff to buy in here. Sweeties. They've cleared the shelves. 50% off nothing. But I'll show you what I got. I got 2 of these little Halloween grave pot. The reason I got it is because the candle smells absolutely gorgeous. It's like a spiced pumpkin. It's the same smell as those, you know, the like little orange pumpkins I got before, and they're really nice. It's a bit like that.
They'll look really good with a bit of dry brushing on them.
Slightly spicier sort of smell. So these were $1.50 each. I got 2, and this we worked out had to be $2.50, did I say?
Yeah.
So it's like we needed some white gloss for the skirting boards in the downstairs bathroom and the windowsill in the upstairs bathroom, which I, when I was still dyeing my hair black, this is how long it's needed painted, I put something down on it and got black dye on, and I managed to like get a scourer and get it off, but it lifted a little bit of the paint. It's not overly noticeable, but it needs a new coat of paint. So £2.50 for that. Can you just hold that space down just while I get this in? Just on.
That's what she said.
Look at my under eyes. This is completely sans makeup. This is au natural, isn't it pretty? That was sarcasm in case you didn't pick that up. Right, we're now going to Asda to... I saw an advert online and it was for pyjamas, and I can't remember what the pyjamas were, but I remember thinking, oh, I like them pyjamas.
Oh yeah, I kept on seeing them flash up. They were all half prices.
And it was in Asda, so that's where Asda's in Antrim, which is where we are right now. So before we go home, I'm avoiding the pound shop. Look at me. I haven't went into Next.
Good.
We're just coming to do what we're doing, and that's it. I don't remember what the pyjamas were, but I remember I liked them. So we'll have to, and I could do with a couple of new bras actually. All my clothes are not, I've got to the point now that my clothes are mostly too big on me.
We're going to do some bra fitting.
But while I'm about 2 or 3 pound away from 4 stone off. But I don't like shirts and stuff being baggy, fine, I don't mind that, but my pyjama bottoms are like hanging off me. So I could do with a new pair of pyjamas. Like I deliberately left it until like things are much too big, which they are now. Although most of my normal clothes are fine. Things like leggings are always good because, oh, then my black leggings are all baggy arse now as well because of the size of my arse beforehand. They made it an arse shape, which is now too big. So I shall let you see the pyjamas if I find them, because Not the easiest when you don't know what it is you're actually looking for. There's a Popeyes opened here now. We're just about to drive past. There's a Burger King. I always fancy, I don't know about you guys, but I don't like McDonald's. I much prefer Burger King. I think their burgers are much nicer, much fresher. I love the Whoppers. Whopper with cheese meal, that's what I could eat right now. Well, actually, I'm not that hungry right now, to be honest with you. But a couple of hours time, when we're nowhere near a Burger King, I'll want a Burger King. Why do we not have one near us at home? The only Burger Kings we have in Ballymena are inside the shopping centre,
and the crap,
which closes at like 5:30 or whatever it is. This is exciting for you.
Riveting stuff.
I can't do anything about filming when I'm trying to navigate a roundabout. They don't have roundabouts in Japan, and Darren's brother's wife, sister-in-law, that school's absolutely terrified of roundabouts. So I had to get it a bit early then. So she stopped driving more or less when she moved to the UK because roundabouts scared her that much. She didn't want to come to Ballymena, city of the 70 roundabouts.
Can you imagine it?
That's a bad one. We got stuck behind a massive funeral today going into my mum's. Oh, we done the sling training or hoist training, which was just, when a professional has to show you a certain way, but the amount of faffing, and when a person's profoundly disabled and tired and uncomfortable, and she's got them like hovering in the air, and then she's explaining something, and my brain's going, can we do the explaining when we've got her back in the bed, comfortable? They don't think about certain things. She was a nice enough girl and stuff, but...
She could have done laps in the room on the hoist while you were talking.
I mean, you have to try and think of the practicalities of things, and my dad hadn't a bloody clue what he was doing. She got both of us to do it, and he was just completely lost.
There's one there, just side of me.
Yeah, this black car, what you see. Right, I'll bring you in with me and see if we can find these pyjamas. Oh, I'm spoiling you with these trips to Asda and B&M, aren't I? Hello, it is Saturday. We're just leaving. We're at a petrol station. First thing happened is we had to leave at 4, 10 to 4. Darren said suddenly, the clock stopped, it's gone after 4. So the clock stopped, so we left 5 minutes late. Then the screen wash ran out when there was bird shit all over the window. And we've just stopped to get petrol and top up the screen wash, buy some screen wash. Darren used the last of the screen wash and didn't think to say that we didn't have any. So we've just stopped now for that, and then we drive to Belfast and we meet Isaac at a right, Darren's now fighting with a wasp that's in the back. If it's not a wasp, leave it. Don't have time for this. Have to go and pick up his bags at the leader's house tomorrow because
there was a huge critter.
As long as it wasn't a
I thought
wasp.
they got loose in car, you'd have panicked and that landed on your face.
As long as it wasn't a wasp, I wouldn't give a shit.
It was a big fucking thing. It was like a moth, but not a moth. Like a cross between a grasshopper and a moth. Never seen one like it, but it won't get. I chucked it out of the car and it flew straight back in.
Of course it did, because everything that can fucking go against us at the minute is going to.
That was the last.
Look at this. Fucking speeding around the corner. Yeah, so I'm going to have to go and get... Oh, look at the fucking queue of traffic. I have to go and get a bag off Francis tomorrow, which I don't like because I wanted to have it all unpacked like tomorrow morning before we went into my mum's, but now I'm going to know that job's waiting for me tomorrow night. And like...
Please follow the road for 4 miles.
Because he's got his expedition this weekend coming up, like in a week's time. I need to make sure everything's there, nothing's been left behind. So, plus I don't particularly want to have to call off to get it to make conversation with someone. You know, just that.
Thanks for not sending us photographs.
That's basically acted like everything's an imposition the entire time. But yeah, we're going to see The Darkness tonight. Ash, as support. I'm not a fan of Ash. I've never seen them live. Not a big fan of their sort of stuff. But I would like Isaac to have the opportunity to sort of like, he's never been at a gig where he's like got up close near the stage. We saw Iron Maiden at Belsonic, but we stayed right at the back. He was quite young then. But I think it would be pretty cool for him to get up near the front for this. So yes, I shall take a little bit of footage if I can, depends where I'm standing. I'll take some footage regardless of where I'm at, but I'm not going to take loads because it's really frustrating when someone's trying to watch a gig and they've got, you know, it's nothing as irritating as some fuckers stood in front of you with their phone in the air while you're trying to watch the band. Oh my god.
Christ, look at that.
Right, we've just hit massive tailback. We cannot afford to be doing this. I've never, literally, I'm not lying, I've never seen it.
I've never seen this road fall.
Never. So something's gone on.
This is the longest stretch of road going in, and you can't even see.
You can't see
Just cars on.
clear the other way. The problem is,
It's a tractor.
we have to be at the docks at a certain time to get Isaac. We have to be there. Now, I have left us extra time. Now, we're half an hour already. We should be at this point in 15 minutes. We need to be hitting that shop at 5:30. It's now 4:30. Satnav seems to think we will be there at 5 o'clock, which is an absolute fallacy because Belfast is more than half an hour's drive from here. The Satnav, I don't know what it thinks it's doing, but yeah, we'll see. I just do not. It's not like just being late for something. I can't be late for this. You know what I mean? Can you imagine asking someone to kick your kid out at a particular place in Belfast and you not being there to pick them up? That's not good. So I shall go and concentrate on driving and hopefully switch you back on in the petrol station in Belfast waiting for Isaac coming off the bus. I shall speak to you later. So we're here on time. We've got about 25 minutes to wait. The place you could probably see just here. It's only open during the week, so me that thought I'm not going to wait anything, I'll wait and get like something in the shop as a snack. Fucking shop's shut, innit?
Big picture of that sandwich.
And there's a big picture outside of a breakfast baguette with a cup of coffee, just to make matters worse. So I'm just waiting at the minute.
I thought I'd be sat in car with one of those family bags of Monster Munch Red.
No such luck. Got 2 big massive sandwiches packed for Isaac, like, and a nice cold drink. I've got enough all. I'll turn you around and let you see some of the, what are they called? Cranes. That's exciting for you.
I could show my buttock candy.
It's hardly Harland and Wolff, is it? So there's loads of like
Laurel and I.
trucks in here. I've parked. Look, things are blocking off, but everywhere that's a decent place to park, there's a fucking truck in it. Yes, this is where we are,
What are the truckers?
as requested. And there's no other shop near here to get anything to fucking eat, which is a pain in the arse. And I daren't go anywhere in case I get lost and can't find my way back again. Right, so if I zoom in, you'll see that picture. There, look. Just to make you feel worse.
We're on the West Bank.
We are.
Better watch out for the IDF.
I think that might be his ferry docking now.
Turn right onto Victoria Street,
Returns.
A2.
There he is. We're on our way. way. We've got to Belfast, we're on our way to the darkness. I won't be able to film the same when we get there, so I'm doing it up a side street now. I'll take you a wee bit of footage of the bands as well. Bit of Harland and Wolff for you there. So I've got quite a good position. That's the front, this is where we are. Hasn't filled up yet. And there's a fucking pizza van back there. Pizza. If it was burgers, I'd be having one. Or hot dogs. Somebody is smoking happy tobacco.
This is so slow at turning out, it's ridiculous.
Edmund the Martyr cut down by Dane. On the orders of Ivar the Boneless. Barbarian!
Here we are in the car, waiting to get out of the car park. I thought we'd do our little gig review, not review, but the first band, who were called what?
Bad Nerves.
Bad Nerves. Initially I thought they were terrible because you couldn't hear the vocalist behind a paper bag, but
Couldn't hear guitar or vocals.
they were actually okay. I was like, yeah, they were alright, and then when I saw Ash, first band went up in my estimation. They're just so boring. I said to Isaac, this is so boring.
One or two good songs.
No.
They had one or two good
They had
lines.
one good song, which is when they brought on
Eric Bell.
from the original Thin Lizzy to sing Whiskey in the Jar, and it's Danny, isn't it? Dan from the give me a D, give me an darkness. What have you got? The darkness.
He just took one reverse though.
I know he did, I saw. So they came on to help, and they did Whiskey in the Jar. That was good. Other than that, he did mess. Eric Bell messed up. Is it Eric Bell?
Yeah.
Messed up quite a bit.
I think he was trying to play it like a blues number.
That's the bar that James has played in the queues that we went that night.
Yeah.
The Darkness were really good. They did have some issues with sound. Justin's mic was not anywhere near loud enough.
His guitar, you couldn't hear it.
His voice was lost. The sound compared, I was saying to Isaac, I still enjoyed them because they bring like an energy, but the other times we've seen them, they've been better because the sound
There
has
was no
been much
crunch, it was
better.
like 3/4 of the guitar
Yeah,
sound.
it was just
missing.
sound,
There
that
was
was
no
it.
crunch, there was no riffs.
I thought it was still awesome.
Darren nearly got into a fight. I was very close to it, and for the first time in my life I got that angry. I wanted to spit in someone's face. I've never done that in my life. No, I didn't want it. If it hadn't been for Darren interrupting me, and he didn't even hear half of what was said. I think if Darren had have actually heard the guy, he would have clocked him because he couldn't hear with his earplugs in. Basically, this couple, new age traveller type, 2 kids. The kids adorned
Dirty armpits.
dirty armpit stinking. The kids adorned with loads of LGBTQ plus stuff. Let me get this across, I support that in all means. These kids were about 6 or 7.
Maybe
Wouldn't have a
less.
clue what that even is. These parents are basically projecting themselves onto their kids and using their kids to get stuff from bands to get to the front, having their kids like stand, and then they're pushing them to one side and they're taking the place. They're just being, he was being an arsehole. So 2 people were in front of us. They were with their kids to the side. Didn't say a word, absolutely fine. Stood there from the start. Guy came, joined the 2 people that were in front of us. He was really tall, so we couldn't say a fucking thing. Right, I let that go. And then a space that the kids kept moving. They were bored. The parents were like, put the glasses on, clap, jump, sing. The kids were bored shitless and didn't want to be there, and the parents were trying to get them to, you know, engage.
There was a gap on the barrier. And I
There was
said,
a gap
"Can
in
you
the barrier," and
your
he
hand
says,
on the
"Put your
barrier,
hand
we
on the
can take some
barrier."
weight on the barrier."
So I put my hand on the barrier.
But the
and
kid had gone at that point.
the
They
kid had
swapped with
gone.
The mother.
The
The
kid
mother
had
was
gone
stood
over the
there.
other side, and the guy came over to me. "Excuse me, my son's standing there." I says, "No, he isn't. He's over there." "He's coming back there." I says, "He's over there. It can't be 2 places at once." "Well, he was there, and we've been there all day, like all day. Then opened to 6 o'clock." I says, "So have I." "Well, we were here first." I said, "Your son is over there." I said, "Have a little bit." I said, your wife is now stood where your son was. Your wife has taken his space. The space that I was holding wasn't even there. I said, "You keep moving further and further and further to the middle." So he basically started having a go at me because I put my hand, and I says, "No, this isn't where your son was stood."
Well, then he started accusing you of touching
Then
his
he,
son. So
then
I
he
told
said,
him,
then
son's not
I
even
didn't
here.
touch his son.
That-
He
you
said I touched his son.
Touching my son. I said, your son's not even fucking there.
I didn't hear that. So
I said, that's your
then,
wife.
because I basically saw a woman and thought he'd be mouthy, and I was shouting back at him because I was really fucking angry at that point. And then he said to me, because people were turning around and looking at this guy, was spit, like, you know when you're that angry you're almost spitting. He was being really aggressive at me, and he was right in my face, and he said, "Ha, complaining about Wayne's, bit of Wayne's, and you're complaining." I didn't complain. He complained that I touched the barrier, and he says, "What fucking age are you anyway?" And I'm like, I was like, if you ever wanted to fucking headbutt someone, well, he nearly got a Glasgow kiss in Belfast. And at
Funnily
that
enough,
point,
that's what I said to you when I said, "Can you hold my glasses?"
At that point, Darren interrupted. He hadn't heard him say that. I think if Darren had heard him say that to me, Darren would have lumped him, because he was being so aggressive. It wasn't what he was saying, it was how he was saying it. And then Darren interrupted, and I turned my back, and I'm doing this with my finger in my ear because
Well,
everyone's
he started
staring.
with me, he started gesturing to security.
Yeah, it's
Security,
just-
security!
We weren't doing anything.
I told him to shut the fuck
This
up.
guy kicked off because I touched a barrier. And then what happened? The kid got bored, went round to the other side. The guy that appeared an hour late, that pushed in with his 2 mates that I didn't say a word to.
Stole this kid's place.
How do I get out of here? How the fuck? I don't know what to do with this.
You just flash it on the screen.
Is this right? Will this stay up for me to get out?
It should do.
Can you take that? I don't know what the fuck.
Have to worry, mate.
So, look at this guy. What is it about me? Am I a fucking easy target or something? So, basically he got really aggressive at me. Then they tried to get security involved because Darren was shouting at him and telling him to wind his neck back in, basically. And I had, like, turned my back on them at this point because it was just, they're doing this in front of two boys of about 6 and he's swearing and gesturing.
Trying to get other
They were
people
both
involved.
they were both
Easy.
smoking dope. I didn't hear that they said that I touched his son. I put my hand in the barrier after his son had left. I was nowhere
He
near.
said she's pushing my son. I said your son's not there. I said that's your fucking wife. I said she's not even touching her. She's got her hand up the barrier. We were here first. I said you fucking own it. And then he started gesturing to the security guy. They're
Well,
pushing.
they
They're
were kicking
pushing.
off with someone else later. Did you spot that? There
Oh
was
yeah,
another
that
argument.
last, yeah.
Not the one that we were talking to.
No, there was a.
So they started with
round
someone
glass.
else.
Yeah, same thing.
This guy's going to push out, so I may as well let him do it. So the more what happened, this is what irked me even more, to the point I had to move. So a space became available on the barrier that no one was stood in because his son decided he didn't want to stand there anymore. Big massive space. The guy that showed up an hour late to the two people in front of us, tall lad, really tall lad, he went and stood in it. Didn't say a fucking word to him. Didn't say that's my son's space. Get out of my son's space. My son's space is. Just let him take it.
No, I thought you was probably sort of with a bunch of girls or something, because a load of girls stood there.
No, he was the one that came late. That was
no,
with
I'm on
the
about
couple.
the dickhead guy probably thought you were just with a bunch of girls.
Yeah,
so
he saw a woman and thought. And I mean, if Darren spoke to a woman like that, even if that woman was in the wrong, I would have words with him. I'd say you can't fucking speak to a woman like that. I'm not being sexist, but he was so aggressive in his manner with me, and I didn't. All I did was put my hand. Well, you've been to gigs yourself. All I did was put my hand on the barrier, because the bit at the front goes down a bit, and I was a bit unsteady, like 1 foot on, 1 foot off, and I put my hand on the barrier, but the space kept widening, and then they kept moving closer and closer and closer to centre, rather than let anyone. I don't know what fucking lane I should be in here. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You'll go around to the north to the right. Okay.
I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Centre of Belfast at night, no fun.
No wonder still there.
Yep. You're thinking he's going to grab my phone, aren't you?
Yep.
So he let the other guy in and didn't say fucking boo. Absolutely nothing. I moved over to the middle beside Isaac. Darren sort of stood with his back to him then, and he kept glaring at me. I caught him glaring fucking daggers at me multiple times. No, because I knew you were ready to. Darren got really cross. And the type of couple they were, there's only one way to put it, fucking scum. They were scratty, dirty, stinking, smelly. So was one of their kids. And they were trying to like project onto their kids. Then when the darkness came on, pushed the kid out of the way and took the space himself, didn't they? And then, you know, like bands see little kids and they give them all the stuff. That's what they're using the kids for. The kids were bored shitless. I was listening to him. Jump, 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 put the glasses on, do this, do
grabbing
that.
his hands and forcing his son to make a heart shape above his head, and he's not holding his hands.
You know,
up
like
firmly.
anything to get attention.
It's like, just let him
But
go.
it takes a certain type of man to speak to a woman that he doesn't know in that manner. And all I did, now if I had to put my hand on his kid, absolutely have a go at me. But I put my hand on a barrier when the son had left.
Even if the child was there, if there's somewhere to put your hand on a barrier, it's free game
I'm
for
like-
anyone to rest on a barrier.
I'm like a bit too respectful in that respect. Darren would be like, no, get fucking in there. And Darren kept saying, get it, put your... So I did. And that's what happened when I did, which is why I generally don't. And then this girl came up and she was pissed. She was called Flo. She was dead on, really nice, and she was chatting away and talking about bands. There, and I says, this is Isaac's first gig standing near the front. We usually have to sit because he's under 18. Oh my god, take this. There's the space the little boy had moved. To get that space, and I says, no. Why, what? And I said to her, I says, that guy's a fucking arse. And I told her, no, he didn't. She was that pissed she was going to start something. And I'm thinking, oh fuck. I says, no. I says, I don't want his night ruined. I said, because this guy is a fucking arsehole and he'll turn and it'll ruin my son's night. I said, no. That's the only way I got her to stop. I said, he will turn aggressive and I don't want my son's night ruined. That's the only reason she stopped. But the guy was a fucking arsehole. I was a bit worried because I've never felt... So no, that's not true. I haven't felt a level of aggression like that in a lot of years. Even that woman at the ice cream van queue, at Mr. Bloom's big day out, I was fucking angry at her.
What did she do?
Pushed into a line that I was stood in I'd stood in for about 35 minutes in the blistering heat, and she comes up with about 8 kids and tries to make conversation to sneak in near the front of the line. I can't be having shit like that. I says, you can join the fucking back of the queue. And that kicked off.
Oh, I tell you, I had so many vicious.
But that guy was
It was
bad
like, right,
news.
do this, and it was like, oh, that'll
When
do
we were
it.
in
Yeah.
Scotland, we saw a guy kind of like that. It was outside a shop. We watched it actually happen. We were walking past this shop, and out of nowhere, this like drunk Scottish guy fell out the shop because the shop owner had punched him in the face because it was drunk in the shop. Like,
Well, they
people.
probably told him to get out,
Now turn right.
and he wouldn't get out, and that's what happens when you don't. But I felt a level of aggression in me that I haven't felt for a lot
what I mean.
of years, and I don't. And they were smoking dope with 2 small kids, and she had every fucking fart saying. Now I will admit, when I see backyard babies, I woo, not constantly, but I do. Woo! I do that. This girl, woo, woo, woo. This is fucking
stunk.
2 support bands she started. And she stunk. Now, I'm not having to go at anyone that's overweight because I am overweight, not as badly overweight as I once was,
It was
but
just dirty sweat.
she had her arms in the air and she had
Oh,
really
God,
stinking
awful.
hairy armpits. And the stink,
Bad onions.
they were just scummy. And they were using 2 kids to try to, basically the guy was a bully. I'll tell you what, she didn't say a fucking word when he was giving it that. She kept her mouth shut.
She'll probably get her ass kicked when she gets out by it.
She didn't say a word. Now, the minute Darren saw what was happening, he stepped in. And if it had happened to Darren, I would have stepped in. Not that I can do anything, but I would have said something.
Yeah, but if it had woman having to go at me, you'd have stepped in and politely advised her of her wrongdoings.
Either one of us would. Couples do that.
Yeah.
But this girl, this woman, if I had been anywhere near
In
her
0.1
kid,
miles, keep left onto
she would have
Victoria
told me a
Street.
new arsehole. If somebody laid a finger on Isaac, I would tear them a new arsehole. Even if I got the shit kicked out of me, I would do it. When you're a woman, nobody messes with your kid. So I've apparently touched her child who wasn't there. And she stood with her back to me while her husband snarls in my and he had a piercing here and he was like, right in my face. And I just wanted to headbutt him. And I thought, no, I can't do that. What if he... I was just thinking, this is the sort of guy that if I do anything, he'll stab me. That's the sort of person he is. So I'm not, and then Darren got cross and he was going, I said, no, leave it. I said, this guy, you don't want to mess. I don't know if I'm in the wrong lane. I'm very much thinking I probably am.
Because we're just looking for the north. What's that sign there?
I can see it, but I can't fucking read it.
It's right way, we're okay, straight.
I know we're in the right direction, but I want to know why everyone's in that lane and everybody's
We're
going
going
in.
to left here now, left.
Now keep left.
Cut in, you're alright.
Right, now come.
Cut in, you can do, you're alright. I used
Yeah,
my
that's
Jedi mind tricks on
That's
it.
what happened in the fucking concert. Cutting here, you're all right, and then all hell fucking kicked off. But that just shows you how close you can get. If Darren hadn't have interrupted, I was ready for headbutting this guy in the nose. I was that cross. And I'll tell you what makes me that cross, because I've told Darren this before. The only other time I've lumped someone is when they get right in my face.
Personal space.
If somebody gets right in my face and starts shouting, the last person that I lumped called me a fucking bitch right in my face, and I lumped them.
Just
Just
In
a bloke,
quarter
Isaac.
mile, turn right onto York Street.
Who when?
Isaac.
Years ago, Isaac, a bloke I was dating at the time. You're a fucking bitch. Fucking bang. Broke his glasses. And
That didn't exist.
I haven't hit anybody. No, Isaac, I was very young. I was about 19, 20.
Okay, I didn't
Very young.
Is she going to climb the wall?
There is a girl out there trying to climb the... I'm not joking.
Can I shout Spider-Man? He could at least pull his fucking shorts up.
Looks at Dave.
They're not drunk, they're sober.
They're probably tripping on crystal meth.
But imagine taking your 2 kids to that environment, smoking dope while you... Now, I've nothing against people smoking cannabis. Fire away, all day long, don't care. Don't disagree with it. Would I do it around a child? Absolutely not. Would I be blowing smoke in people's faces in a public place that you're not allowed to smoke anyway? No. And would I be stood aggressively snarly swearing into a woman's face in front of my 2 sons? Can't get over it. I just think to myself, if Darren did that when Isaac was little, I'd have been so angry. Even if he was in the right, I would have been, for showing himself up in front of people. But they're the sort of people who don't give a shit about showing themselves up in front of people. Fucking scum. I'm sorry. You're getting the horrible side of me right now. Fucking scum.
I thought it's close contact. Foot through his kneecap.
They tried to get us kicked
and
out
then forehead through the back of his head.
for me putting my hand on a barrier.
Security,
And
security.
then being told, wind your fucking neck in. Wind your fucking neck. And then because people were looking, because his voice was so loud and aggressive, he tried to make out, first of all, that I had been complaining about children, and that then Darren says that I touched his son. I'll fucking touch you, never mind your son. In a minute. I need to, maybe it's menopause. I don't know why I got that cross. I got so angry and I was seething for about 20 minutes. My heart rate was 115, I checked. Of my bloody Fitbit, on 115 it got. I thought, I'm not going to be able to enjoy this concert. I'm that fucking angry. And thankfully, there was I don't know how the space became available. Isaac says, look, Isaac pulled me in a space. And then I was away from him and I was alright then at that point. Even though I did catch him giving me daggers multiple times.
You're just throwing something at him. Throwing
The
Coke bottle at him.
moral of the story is, don't get in my face when I'm cross.
If we see him walking instead of when we're driving, can we throw something at him?
I'll tell you what, Isaac, I've got footage of him. And I shall be putting the footage of him somewhere. And I will be saying what he did. And his kid was on the barrier like that. Like that, lying on it, and nobody else was allowed near it. And I mean...
Is that a drone over there?
I could have started a whole palaver. I could have said, right, excuse me. I could have said, I've got fibromyalgia and ME. I'm in a lot of pain. I held onto the barrier to steady myself because I'm struggling. I was nowhere near your kid. Your kid's not here. Did I go into any of that? No. I just told him to wind his neck in. And then Darren intervened. And then I walked away because the volume went... Darren could match... Actually, no. Darren's got a very loud voice, but this guy was much, much louder than Darren. I think because he was so aggressive. There was just such vehemence behind. So there you go. It's been a long time since what age am I? Nearly 50. Nearly headbutt at some bloke in the nose. There you go, that was eventful.
I like that we both came to the same conclusion of a headbutt.
I was that cross. I was too close to him to punch him.
That's my brain exactly. It said close quarters, you're going to get it. That's why I asked you to hold my glasses.
That's why I refused to hold your glasses, because I thought if you do that, this guy has no morals, he's got no qualms, he doesn't care that his kids are there.
Have you seen the size of my head?
No, he could have had a knife or anything on him, I wouldn't have trusted him. Absolute scum. Yes, right, I'll stop now.
And we've got Isaac here as well. He could have come in with a bit of it. Oh, I told you so.
Yeah, that's true. Isaac could have kicked the shit out of his two fucking arsehole kids as
You're
well.
like 6.
Well.
Anyone can.
And one of the kids' hair was crawling. It was crawling. The lad was 6, roughly at a guess, very short. But he'd got dreads. Again, I've got nothing against dreads, but the kid's hair was they were dirty. They were just all dirty. I don't know what they were, but they were
He'd had his hair braided. It's probably been left for a month, and it all, rather than being brushed out, it just tangled up.
Filthy, dirty. You know the beginning of that? Filthy, dirty, something stinking. What is it? Cherry pie warrant. Yeah. That's what they were. If you're a rock fan, you'll get the reference. If you're not, you'll wonder what the fuck I'm talking about. What is it? Filthy, rotten, dirty, stinking.
Rich, yeah.
Oh, rich? Right,
Rich.
I didn't know that the word rich was in it. I thought they were just calling somebody filthy, rotten, stinking. They maybe did, I don't know. She's my cherry pie. So, darkness were good. Justin kept going off on one. He told everybody off for having their phones out at one point. Can we just have one song? And that's the one song Darren wanted to film. Where people don't have their fucking phones in the air.
Not just filming you and that. There's no point in me filming because my phone is crap. It don't pick any sound up.
Right, can you look at this and see where the fuck I'm going?
Just straight on to the north.
Further north. So I think, am I turning right up here?
Whichever way north is. I think it
No
always
idea.
right.
Come on now, you're nowhere near it.
Are you trying to act smart and just say left or right? Stop trying to say north.
Because we follow the sign that says north.
Right, I'll switch you off now. So it was a good. You enjoyed it, Isaac?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although Isaac's very much like Darren, he's very sedate at a concert. He stands there and doesn't move a muscle.
I liked it when he kept on playing Dead Flowers.
What is that?
It's Rolling Stones.
Oh, right. What was that country and western thing?
Yeah.
Is that was Rolling Stones?
Yeah, Dead Flowers.
Right, I knew he was taking the piss
Now
out
turn
of
right.
country and western, but I couldn't quite understand why and what was going on.
You're sitting here in here.
Right, I think I must have to go over one to the right. I can't tell. Left.
The west and south is
Right, no,
left.
I think I'm in the right. I'm in the right lane. This is shocking, folks. There's just cars everywhere, and it's a city. And yes, I'm in the right lane. Happy fucking days.
Oh, it's just
Oh, look how
brilliant.
far away I am from that car and it keeps beeping.
It can feel your aggression.
Yeah, probably can. Fuck off, it says. Right, so...
Can we shout bus wankers at people?
If you want.
It's not
Isaac,
stop.
you have to watch The In-Betweeners because you will really enjoy it. You and
I've seen
Stephen
clips.
should watch it together.
Not clips, you need to watch the whole thing.
I've seen all the good clips from it.
No, it's funny. It's like, it is a funny show. It's particularly aimed at teenage boys and young
I've
men.
seen like most of the clips.
I thought you'd find that really funny.
Plunge.
Oh, don't. Hate that word. Isaac's knackered. He's been on his feet all morning. They get up at like 7 o'clock or something.
We had to get him at 5 this
Oh,
morning.
no way.
Yeah.
Right.
Why, you piss bed?
So it is now 10 past 11, so we'll be home before 12. Isaac's going straight to bed, and then tomorrow I have to go into my mum's. We have to collect Isaac's 2 bags from
His
Francis.
ball bag.
They didn't want to stop the van with all the stuff in it because there's that much in it, and it's the way
Now
it's...
drive straight ahead and then immediately keep right.
Can you come? I don't need that anymore now that I know where I am. They didn't want to stop the van that had all the stuff in it because it was crammed, and it's just a pain in the arse to stop it, to open it, to get Isaac's
Why
stuff
not?
out.
You forgot to mention something about the gig.
Well, it's going to go dark in a
Fucking
minute.
dirty ass.
Oh yeah, I'm stood behind Isaac and there's a smell.
Oh, smell.
And Darren turns around to me and pulls a face and does a nose wrinkle, which I know means somebody's stinking. And I'm pointing at Isaac. I says, I bet it's him because I'm right behind him and my nose is full of it.
I ripped ass like 30 times.
Isaac was stinking.
It was like-
Absolutely
Purposefully.
It
stinking.
was like a bag full of shit.
It was
It was on
awful.
purpose.
You better go to the toilet when you
It was
get home.
airbending. I was airbending.
He was there something. My nose got most of it. Right behind him I was.
I figured out how to fart silently. I could
You
do
figured
things
out how to fart.
silently.
What you could do with filtering out the bloody smell, part of charcoal knickers.
It's charcoal what?
Pants.
Oh.
Hello, morning. Sorry, early afternoon. State me. Yeah, just heading into my mum's, collecting Isaac's bags on the way. Still haven't done the grocery shop online, which I need to do. I can't think of anything else to tell you. Are you feel a bit better this morning? Not so tired. Well, Isaac thinks he's coming down with a cold. But given, like I said to him in photographs that we saw, in the sparing photographs that we saw, everybody stood in coats and Isaac was stood in a t-shirt. That does not surprise me, even though he had 2 hoodies and a raincoat. Thinks he's coming down with a cold.
Who?
Oh, I said he. Who else is there? What you lost?
That's sweet. What's that?
The sweet that fell. I think it fell down my
Oh, don't
side.
matter then, it's alright, leave it, it's alright. Just leave it, it's okay.
Werther's original. I dropped it last night. Darren now fancies it.
My buttock candy.
It's probably below my seat.
Yeah, right.
I must remember to change the battery in the clock when I get back. It's losing time. So, oh, that was a bee. Right, I've nothing else of any interest to tell you, so I shall sign you off for the week. And catch up with you next week.
Diversion sign.
Oh no, they're starting the roadworks here tomorrow.